I need you to stop being surprised when it happens to you. People have patterns of behavior. Open your eyes, start paying attention. People always tell on themselves. Look at their relationships, look at their behaviors. If they treat their mom like shit, do not be shocked when they talk to you the same way. Cruel people will continue to be cruel people until they address the thing that wounded them in the first place. They don't know exactly why they act the way they act until it's brought to their attention. And people will do a lot for self-preservation and to avoid that very confronting fact. They either want to be aware or they do not. So if your homegirl is madly in love with a guy and then the next day she ghosts him, your friendship breakup will look the exact same. No explanation, no clarifying, you will just be gone. If someone has ever shown you walls and walls of text messages between them and another person, them saying, hey, can you just tell me like what went wrong? Like, what did I do? And they're like, haha, I just never responded. Do not be surprised when it's your turn. At the extremes of avoidance, that is narcissistic behavior. You can't just do anything and blame it on your attachment style without the repercussion of being like, hey, I did kind of a shitty thing there. Hey, I'm kind of a shitty person for doing that. And if that is how they're comfortable treating someone they had a meaningful relationship with, understand you are choosing to engage and align yourself with someone that is emotionally unsafe. You are allowed to end any relationship you want. Do not be dense. That is not what we are talking about. But there is a way to do things in a decent, humane way, reflective of the respect due to that relationship. If someone calls you in crisis and you hang up on them because they interrupted me, your case for being a good person is not strong. You are very ego-driven. You are after power dynamics. If you show me a wall of messages and you're like, I didn't even respond, how pathetic. You are after power dynamics. You are a fucking lame. And if you have dealt with someone like this, I'm not telling you not to feel hurt because it is very hurtful. I'm telling you to not take it personal because it has nothing to do with you. This is a pattern-driven behavior. This is an emotionally unsafe person. If they have done this to someone that they have known for over a decade, you can be sure that when it's your turn, they will do it to you. Do not be surprised when it happens to you. You are no better. I've always said, if you're willing to do it to blood, I will never be shocked if you do it to me. People that lack integrity across the board. And typically, when there's no external incentive to be kind to you, when they're done with you, they will show you who they really are. Get ready to be treated worse than a stranger they meet on the street. Best friend who, girlfriend who, boyfriend who, husband who. You don't know them anymore. But you've seen them do it before, haven't you? You were just on the other side, on the safe side. Ain't that a bitch? This is a coping response. This is a trauma response for them. Nothing to do with you. I could phrase it more complexly, but simply put, not enough hugs as a kid. And you can make an appeal for compassion, but compassion doesn't live there anymore. Not for you. It might live there for their new favorite friend because people like these always have their favorite person. It's cyclical. It's a pattern. The compassionless discard is a very well-known narcissistic tactic. I'm not saying they are a narcissist. I'm saying it is a narcissistic thing to do. And it will go one of two ways. Just like the complete ghosting, not even acknowledging anything that happened before, or it'll be a complete condemnation and attack on you in the name of self-preservation because they can't be in the wrong. They need to preserve their victimhood. Once again, do not take it personally. You have seen them do this before to other people. Come on, you've heard the stories. Very one-sided. Did they throw their last partner out onto the street with a very small amount of time to find a new place to live? Is that something they did? Does that sound like something you do to someone you love? Does that sound reasonable? Come on, remember. Remember their ex-best friend. Remember that story. Remember their cousin. Remember the times they snapped at you. Remember the times they were really unstable? Remember the time they really scared you? You knew. You knew. And I'm not telling you not to be hurt. I'm telling you to not take it personal. People that choose to not communicate with you are not worth communicating with. And I'm really sorry to be the one to tell you that. I'm sorry for your loss.